Okay, I'm David Barlow, Secretary to the Select Board.
Phil Marquette, Select Board.
Dave Gal.
Go ahead, Bernie.
Planning Commission.
Barry Keenan, resident.
Deb.
Deb Tangway, town clerk, town bookkeeper.
Scott Breyer, Select Board.
Donna or Len, and then you've got NEMC.
Len and Donna Griffiths, residents.
Let's add one more.
And have one more to admit. Welcome NAMC.
Yeah, they can't hear yet. There's Bill. Hello, Bill.
We're just now at introductions and you're muted, but once you unmute, if you could just introduce yourself and we'll be off to the races.
You're muted, Bill.
There I am. Sorry. I'm Bill Krajewski, the assessor.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
First up, we have changes or additions to the agenda.
I don't have.
None heard. Allowing for public comment. None heard. Item 4, ARPA funding, the revenue loss decision. And as we had discussed at the end of our last meeting last Friday, we have, the select board has a decision to make about whether to categorize the funding that we're going to receive through the American Rescue Plan Act as revenue loss, or to leave it in its much more difficult to manage form of particular projects and typical federal reporting applies. So to sum up, the two things are driving, in fact, this meeting tonight. The ARPA funding decision about revenue loss is a one-time event and it has to be done by April 30th. Something I discovered when I went to do the report. And VLCT, Vermont League of Cities and Towns, which we are a member, strongly recommends that everybody accept the generous offer basically from the federal government to in fact declare the ARPA funding as a revenue loss and then manage it that way. The advantage being significantly reduced reporting. We can continue to use the ARPA funds in the same manner as you would have otherwise. They remain in a separate fund, accounted for separately in the town's accounting system. So essentially, this decision dramatically reduces the amount of federal reporting we have to do for the funds, but doesn't change anything else. And with that, I will turn it over to the select board for discussion in the public.
Do we still need to use it as said it should be, or it can be used for anything?
It can be used for anything that the municipality would ordinarily spend funds on, except for retirement plans. Which we,
So it's not as restricted as if we weren't doing it this way.
correct, and it's not, I was incorrect last time in stating that it would just be thrown into the general fund. That's not accurate. It remains a separate fund with, but with the ability to spend it on anything we would normally spend money on in municipality, again, with
Just like it gonna work like a restricted fund? No.
essentially, yes, that's a good analogy, actually.
And
Like one that's already been funded and approved. The select board has
Yeah.
control of it and you can
Right.
disperse as the need.
that was the question last time, was who had the control of it?
So is it something, sorry, so is it something that like you guys could discuss at a select board meeting, or is it, because last meeting you had commented that it had to go to like town meeting day?
Yeah, I was wrong about that statement.
So
Or something you guys.
It can be spent at the board level and doesn't have to be brought up to the town.
But would they, the board would need to vote on it.
Right.
Basically. It'd have to be a public meeting, warned and so forth.
So if it's something that was needed, it wouldn't be restricted till next March.
Right. Scott?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. So I'd like to make the motion. I move that the town of Coventry make the one-time irrevocable decision to elect the standard allowance revenue loss approach for our ARPA award in the amount of $315,068.02 to spend on the provisions of government services throughout the period of the performance of a grant.
So move.
All those in favor?
Aye,
All right.
Aye.
that's right, you had that written out, didn't you?
I did.
So I was like, man, he really did a good motion there.
You're about, you were busting their robo.
Yeah.
He was practicing that for hours.
I got help.
Yeah, it was,
Irrevocable is the word.
somebody read my emails.
I read it, it didn't dawn on me until he got the irrevocable.
So I'll make that report. Okay. Number 5 on tonight's agenda is road work to be put out to bid in 2022. I did receive I think, bid language from,
Yeah, so you guys have all seen the measurements from Graves that we went over, right?
Yeah.
And it shows the tonnages. I was off on the first email.
Is that what the 23, 1, 2?
12, it should be 2312, right?
Yeah, tonnage from 3272 down to now 2312.
Yeah, so basically that's where I'm at. I think we should go with that tonnage. I can use basically Mark's language from his email and add that in there.
So is that him going with you, just doing the measurements, and then he's
Yeah,
gonna do a
I've
something,
done it
and then
with
he's gonna do a
Norm.
quote?
I've done it with Norm before too. We'll just
Yeah.
go measure the roads and everybody uses the measurements and they just bid off that. Spoke to EJ this morning from Hutchins. He has no problem getting a quote in for next Monday. I'm sure Norm won't have any trouble. Just a matter if you want to do the 2312 or what was the other one, 32?
3272.
Yeah.
So what was the difference on that one? I gotta read your.
That was taking the lane out for now, and I think we should do that. And as I mentioned before, that'll cover every project, I think, for next year. We'll have 125 in 2-for-1 money from AOT. Plus that should give us 180 roughly to add into that for the Alderbrook. I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Then I might, I'll have to make a decision moving forward whether I want to use whoever wins to do the shoulders or not. So that'd be another added cost. But it leaves us some wiggle room and it guarantees that everything's paid for moving forward before we go to the voters as far as top coats for next year.
So. One thing, I've been a proponent of paving. But then I started thinking, I drove up by station the other day.
Yeah, those are things I've warned of on that.
Yeah, and how, because we're top coating that this year. Right?
No, that
That's
one,
next year?
that section was already up. That
Was already top.
That
coated.
had base and top coat. That was just that's a road failure. That's not a,
Right, and I guess that's where I start coming in. I'm like,
yeah.
I thought it was good to do paving, but then you have those issues where a grader would just fix it.
It is, it's a catch-22. I mean, in a normal town, you're not gonna pave the roads for paving. You're just not gonna do that. It's just so much money out there. Do we wanna do it? And I guess we've committed to some of it to this point. How far we wanna go, I guess is up to us and the voters. This, if we stay with that 2312, we're not adding anything. We're not adding any more at this point that hasn't already been approved from last year. Then if both voters want to speak one way or the other, they will be able to next spring at town meeting, because we'll have an actual town meeting. So that might be good, and get some input there too. Guess I'm in. Done.
So
Only thing I
the,
need to know is the 3200 or the 23, and I'm gonna recommend the 2312, I believe.
So that's gonna do Lawson Ridge,
Yeah, it's a
Maple
shim.
Ridge,
Yeah.
Shim. What's the third one with resurface Lawson Ridge and Maple Ridge?
So you do your shim over any of the bad spots right now.
Oh, okay, and then you do the,
Then you
yep.
resurface it.
And Covered Bridge Road, Coventry Station is at the top above the bridge.
No, that one was already approved.
Oh, this is what we are,
Norm will be doing that in June above the bridge. These are just those bad sections.
okay,
I did meet with Mr. Savini, Monday morning. And we reviewed the Coventry Station and just not a lot of answers there. I mean, it's maybe changed the toe of the slope. There's just really nothing to catch into. It's all clay soils. The only flat spot you see is basically a drift from previous fill settling. We talked about a drainage, but there's just not a lot of good solutions. We talked about soil staples. You know, maybe just patch it for this year and see what it is. I mean, we know it's been there. But I mean, you're a long way to the bottom if you ever want to do sheathing or something like that, 200 feet to the swamp.
mhm.
Maybe not 200, but you're a pretty good charge.
Yeah, I agree with David as far as, his recommendations.
All right.
Yep,
So I'll get that, I'll try to get that typed out tonight or tomorrow morning and sent out to everybody.
that's what you wrote down, right?
Yeah. I don't know how to clip them together, Dave.
Flip them together.
Clip emails together. So I could just use Grade if I know how to do that.
No. Paste.
Yeah. But I'll get that done and we should have some bids by Monday. I'll put a deadline for Monday at 4. Good.
Great.
You'll copy me on that.
Yeah.
That goes in the papers, right?
I was just gonna email it to the 3 contractors that are qualified to
there's-
do it.
With that tight a deadline, there's no way to get it in paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's not anybody else around.
Those are the only 3 that are gonna bid it.
Okay,
Done.
all done. We don't need a motion? I don't think we do.
No, that was just
You
been
don't-
talking,
you
it's just,
pre-approve.
it's
Okay,
putting out the RFP is what it's
Yep.
doing.
okay. Then we're gonna move on to the final item tonight. Assessor request to change assessing clerk hours and days. So I will hand it over to you, Bill, for,
Yeah, thank you. We've been thinking about this for a while. Talking with Kate about her workday and what her workday is like. And what we're kind of finding for the most part is that she comes in the morning and has a lot of stuff and then it peters out. And she's saying about how in the morning she's got to make a lot of I feel strongly that, if we're going to give 8 hours, let's break it into a couple of days and get, so people have a couple of opportunities to find somebody in our office during the week. And that's the big thing. Now, I want to be careful here. Kate's working for me independently also. And part of this is because we were trying to get a little bit of, where we've got a contract in Troy and she's relatively close to there and we're trying to make hours work and things like that. I mean, I could make them work otherwise, but we've been looking at this move for a while saying, I think it makes more sense to give 2 days presence there versus 1. It doesn't change your budget. Still the same 8 hours. The work will still all get done. We still come in and do our thing once, was it twice a month, I think, or something. So it's been working okay, but I think this just gives us better coverage more than anything else. That was the reason we were looking for it more than anything. We were looking at Tuesdays, like she's working now from 8 to noon time, and then she'd be working from like 1 to 4, 1 to 4:30 on Thursdays.
I think Scott had questions. You're muted.
I'm trying to find the button.
Screen.
So the only concern I have is, so right now, the town does not have a town administrator, so our office is empty on Tuesday. So with Kate being in the office, there all day. There's a presence in the office, for 8 hours instead of just 4 on that day. When we had a town administrator working, 5 days a week, there was always someone there, which is nice for the, the residents of the town. So my feeling would be to leave our hours the same for now and revisit it once we hire a new town administrator. That's my opinion, but it's up to the other two guys too.
I see it both ways, so I'm not. Is there anybody here for us on Thursdays right now?
Yes, Deb's here all day.
Just nobody on Tuesdays.
Yeah, I mean, I'm popping in now in the afternoon. But not in the morning.
If you gentlemen want to wait on this to see how things work out, I'm okay with that. I mean, we can wait a while before we do it. I can see how you have kind of a unique problem right now. If it's an issue, let's just put it aside and we'll wait. I'm not gonna press the issue at this point. I think it's in the long run, it's the better idea, but you kind of have a bit of a unique situation right now. So I guess if that makes sense to you, then I mean,
I agree with you too. Also in the long run, yes, breaking it up probably would be in the best interest of the town. But for right now, I think it works well one day, having a presence in the office all day.
I'm good with that.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, we shouldn't be too long hiring an administrator.
No.
We just gotta fire Barlow for.
Well, guy, I hope you good luck with that. Whether it's no, I don't. I'm not trying to make it sound that way. If you can get David to do it, good for you. But whatever, just I hope it happens pretty soon, one way or the other. I'm sure everybody does.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
you're welcome. Thank you for listening to me. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Watch, there's a other business item on there that Barlow probably has a whole long list of stuff to.
No, there's nothing, is there?
I didn't.
Okay, there is another business item.
There is.
You have it right there, other business.
Oh, I do have that topic, yes. I guess what I could use is a very quick, well, just a tad of board guidance on the length of the position description for the town administrator. A lot of the previous ones that I've now dredged up from the days of Amanda are rather lengthy.
Yeah, and they were very,
Detailed.
they're detailed, but there was also vagueness to it too.
Yeah, I haven't done
at least the one that I had read.
just page, 4 pages long. So I guess what I would recommend is that I work on an advertisement that is quite compact, that points to a web link that is also not 4 pages long. That might be a page and a half-ish.
And bulleted items instead of a paragraph for each item.
Just to kind of capture the essence, that I should work towards that. If that's, if the board's amenable to that. So what I gathered from looking at what she had was, there was a very brief advertisement in the newspaper, but then it pointed at a lengthy thing.
And you usually, like,
So
you
that-
put the ad in the paper, but like on the job sites, you usually have a shorter description of the primary bulleted items of what you do and then.
So that'll be, you put your full description on the town's website, VLCT too, or you.
Probably would just post it to ours and post a link,
Yeah.
or have, if the SCT is willing to.
Well, that's also the other question is how descriptive do you get in a job
Yeah.
description anyways? You usually don't, you get your primary stuff and then you cover it with as jobs are assigned.
But if it's a municipality or like government kind of a thing, are there any rules associated with posting? If you're putting contracts out, you would potentially have kind of, from a contractor standpoint, there's some additional language you have to put in because it's a town. So from a, maybe not from a hiring standpoint.
Maybe VLCT has a basic
They probably do.
job description template.
Yeah,
But every town is
It's
different.
like, yeah.
But I definitely agree with you. I
the
think you
answer
could take,
is not really.
probably.
But there's certainly rules on the other side of it. Once we hire people, there's a lot we have to comply with.
Do we have to actually look at it like a contract? I mean, basically it's an
No.
employee.
Yeah.
We're just offering them a certain, maybe a different set of benefits based on their abilities,
Mhm.
needs too.
No, it's just an employee.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean to auger into it too much tonight. I think I got what I needed from you guys, which is shorter would be better at this point.
Mhm.
Or something at all would be better, so maybe I should produce it. So,
And
okay, it's next on my list. All right, that's all I had for other business, even though I said I didn't have any.
I don't know.
let's go.
Scott, did you have anything else?
No, I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Shortest meeting ever.
Yeah.
See ya.